So let's move on to the next question, guys. In this question, we are given that there are two figures, square S and rhombus R, and the length of the diagonals of both these are integers, right? We are also given that the ratio of the length of the diagonals of both these are 15 is to 11 is to 9. So we have to calculate the difference between the area of square S and rhombus R, and we have to tell which of the following are possible. This is a multiple choice, right? Okay. So tell me one thing, that there is a square S, right? There is a square S. Okay. And there is a rhombus R. Let's assume this. Right? Okay. Now we are given that um, the ratio of the diagonals is 15 is to 11 is to 9. That means, for example, the length of the diagonal of the square, let's assume, is 15x, right? So this becomes 15x. And because a rhombus has two diagonals, right, d1 and d2, because a square has also two diagonals, but both of the diagonals are equal. But in rhombus, the two diagonals are not equal. That is why we have three diagonals over here, one for the square and two for the rhombus, right? So 15 we take for the square, and these two remaining diagonals we take for the rhombus. So because the ratio was 15 is to 11 is to 9, so we have taken the square diagonal to be 15x, right? And let's suppose this diagonal of the rhombus is 11x, and this diagonal of the rhombus is 9x, right? Okay. So now tell me one thing, right? What is the area of a square? The area of a square is obviously side into side, right? The area of a square is side into side. Or we also know that the area of a square can be half into d1 into d2, right? So the area of square is how much? Half d1 d2, where d1 and d2 are the diagonals, right? So what is the diagonal over here? Half into 15x into 15x, right? So this comes out to be how much? 15, 15, 225, 225x square upon 2, right? So this is the area of the square, right? And if you want to do it by calculating the side, you can also do it like that. For example, let's suppose this is y and this is y, right? So y square plus y square is equals to 225x square, right? This square plus this square is equals to this square. So y square plus y square is equals to 225x square. So 2y square is equals to 225x square. So how much will y square be? Y square will be 225x square upon 2. And we had to find the area of the square. And what is the area? Y square, which is how much? 225x square by 2. So it's exactly the same thing, whichever formula you use, right? Okay. Now what will be the area of the rhombus? The area of rhombus is again half into d1 into d2, right? The area of rhombus is half into d1 into d2. So half into, what is d1? d1 is 11x and d2 is 9x, right? So this comes out to be how much? 99x square by 2. I hope this should make sense. So the area of the square is 225x square by 2. The area of the rhombus is 99x square by 2. Now we had to calculate the difference between the area of the square and the rhombus. So what is the difference? The difference is 225x square by 2 minus 99x square by 2, which is how much? 126x square by 2, right? Which is how much? 63x square, right? So the difference comes out to be how much? The difference comes out to be 63x square. I hope this makes sense, right? Okay, now tell me what can be the different possible answers. If we put x is equals to 1, right? So how much is the difference? the difference will be 63. So this is a possible answer, right? If we put x is equals to 2, so how much is it? 2 to the 4, 4 into 63, which is 252. So 252 is a possible answer. 126 is not a possible answer because for that we will have to put x to be some form of non-integer, right? Because if we put x equals to 1, we get this. We put x equals to 2, we get this. We put x equals to 3, we will get an even bigger number. So we are not getting 126. And why are we taking x to be integer? Because we are given in the question that the length of the diagonal are integers, right? And what was the length? The length was 15x, for example. So if 15x needs to be an integer, we need to take x an integer, right? So that is why we need to take x to be an integer, because it is given that they are integers. So x is an integer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So we take 1, we get this. We take 2, we get this. Now if we take 3, we will get an even bigger number, but we will never get 126. So your final answers are first and the third. So I hope this is absolutely clear.